One of the things that people have asked me about and commented about and questioned is something that I question too, which is which grade should I be buying? Should I be buying a PSA 7 because usually 7s look nice? Should I be buying only PSA 9s because PSA 9s are, the highest grade that are kind of common? Obviously, it depends on, is this a new card? Is this an old card? On what grade you would be targeting. But I think that there's a little bit of a better way to look at it. It's not just about what grade looks okay, unless it's for your personal collection. If it's a personal collection card, I don't really know that it matters what the grade is. I someday want to get a Yogi Berra 1948 Bowman rookie card. I don't care if it's a 3 or it's an 8. I just want to have Yogi Berra's rookie card. But some cards that we collect, we do want to be buying something nice. So here's the analogy I was using the other day. When I buy a house, I might not care that the house is on a busy street. But someday I'm going to sell that house, or someday my family is going to sell that house. So if a lot of other people care that the house is on a busy street, someday the value of the card, or the house in this case, is not going to be selling for what you would think it is worth. So I don't want to buy a house on a busy street because I would be bothered by a busy street. If you're not bothered by a busy street, that's fine. But someday when you sell the house, the busy street will bother potential buyers. So I think that there are certain grades that you can target as the best deal, the best bang for your buck. So I want to show you some numbers that I worked on that I think kind of show the philosophy that I've been using. And I use some of the cards that I have recently looked into and purchased. So I think that this would be helpful in determining what is the method that I should be using to determine which grade to target.
So we want to be getting a good deal. We want to get the most bang for our buck. We definitely want to make sure that even though we don't think we'll sell a card someday, that we're getting a good value and we're getting a card that is going to maximize the value over how long we have it. So there are definitely some factors that are going to be a role here. For example, if it's a PC card or it's an investment card, or is it some sort of combination of the two, it may not matter as much, but we still want to be getting a good deal because we never know what will happen. If it is an investment card, is it a short-term hold or a long-term hold? If it's a short-term hold, then we want to just be buying it at a best price point. We also probably have a max amount that we can afford. So there are times that, we want to get a higher grade, but it's just outside of what we can afford. And if it's outside of what we can afford, we have to work within our budget. So we'll take those things into consideration as we look at the data that I've prepared of 4 recent purchases that I made. So first we have a 93 Derek Jeter SP. A PSA 9 is averaging $4,200. A PSA 8 is averaging $406.50, and a 7 is $183.50. So there's a huge jump in value between an 8 and a 9. There are a lot of people that want this card, but they can't afford a 9. There's a 933% jump from an 8 to a 9, but just a 122% jump from a 7 to an 8. So if you can afford an 8, you're buying the highest grade that most people can afford. The second card that we'll look at is the 1980 Larry Bird and Magic Johnson rookie card. A 9 is $11,500. An 8 is a $2,500 card. So it's a 360% jump from an 8 to a 9. Now, I'd love to have an 8 because the jump from an 8 to a 9 is so much that I'm buying the highest priced card that some people could afford. But that was out of my price range. So I went with the 7 because that's all I could afford. But in this Lou Alcindor 1971 card, an 8 is $820, a 7 is $425, and a 6 is $194. So it's a 120% jump from a 6 to a 7. But it's just a 34% jump from a 5 to a 6. So I want to buy the grade below the biggest jump. It's not that much more expensive to get a 6 than a 5. So a person that wants to buy this card and wants a nice one, they may not be able to afford $425. So they're going to get a 6. So in this case, I tend to lean toward the grade just below where there's a big jump in the price. If we look at this Jim Brown 1960 card, his third-year card, it's a 245% jump from a 7 to an 8. So I don't want to buy an 8. I want to buy a 7. Because anybody out there who wants this card and wants a nice copy of the card, but can't afford the outrageous price of an 8, is going to get a 7. And it's not that much more expensive to get a 7 than a 6. So buy the grade below the big jump in price. You'll get the best bang for your buck, and your payoff down the road will be nice.